Krishnaye Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranathakleshanakshaye Govindaya Ananda Leelamaya Vigrahaya Hemavadivya Chavisundarani Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste। आप सबके चरणों में प्रणाम करते हुए I'm amused that we all have gathered here with a commonly shared kamana to deliberate on Nishkamana. It's wonderful. Our tasks have some roadblocks though, caused by the misunderstanding, but with the gathering of the wise people here, the Kovidas, with the sword of Shastra, we can do away with some of the misunderstanding. And what can be a better place than the Kharagpur, the town of the sword? The Gyan is the sword. Anyway, our discourse on Seva, which focuses upon Nishkam dimension of Seva, but the essential element is Seva. Why Seva? And who will enlighten us about Seva? I am very grateful to Parvati Amma that she invoked a voice from Bengal this morning. The voice says, Shiva Vina Jagate Nahi Avastha. Without Seva, this world will not sustain itself in totality. Shiva Vina Jagatir Nahi Avastha. And why so? If we see the story of human affairs, the life itself runs on relationships, Sambandhi Tattva. If we take the individual as the unit of our wider context of our discussion, social work, without the individuals there is no social structure. So the individual, which is divided into two dimensions of body and soul, matter and spirit. So there, if we see, if the relation is done away with, there is no life. The life is so long as these two dimensions of our being, the spiritual and the physical, are related. The same then goes back to our larger circle of family from where we come from. It's a bundle of relationships. Then it further enlarges into society, which is a further expansion of the network of relationships. If you see about the business activities, what is there without relations between producer, traders, manufacturers, customers, and blah blah. Our Guru is sitting here, he will throw more light on the business part of it, how to manage it. And this is 2024. What is going to happen in this country? Any guess? 2024 will be remembered politically for something. People will cash how much relations they have in last 5 years. With the people at large, with the rulers they are working for, and so on and so forth. The politics is nothing but a play of relationships. So, phenomenology of human affairs reveals the centrality of relation factor in human life. The concern is how to sustain the life of the relation itself. Having a relation is not a problem, but how to sustain it. We look for the sustaining values and the processes of their implementations. And that's why we seek dharma. I'm skipping little things, I'm just throwing you some dots, and it is your job to connect the dots. I'm not so capable of connecting dots as Acharya is. So what we discovered that any value or any virtue which sustains life processes are added to the folder on our desktop called dharma. Any value or any process which is helpful in sustaining life is added to dharma. And we all know that it has 10 basic files, Satya, Ahimsa, etc. Bhagavad enlarges it to 30. So the files increase and the folder is open-ended. We can still add more values and more virtues into the folder of dharma. So in that plurality, we search for the value, the dharma. The human experience univocally declares, Seva hi paramo dharma. There is no other ultimate dharma than the seva itself. Seva hi paramo dharma. So the ultimate supreme value of seva is a great mystery. Seva dharma param gehno yoginam api agamya. It is such a secret thing. And Tulsidas ji says, Sabate sevak dharma kacho. The most difficult spiritual path is the path of seva, not of jnana or tapa. How do we say that? How do we decode seva then? Seva, we usually do under compulsion. We have to serve. We do with ulterior motives. Professor Kapoor has talked about it in detail. Then the seva is also because of our hypocritic nature. We want to show something which we do not intend. And we do seva with a lot of carelessness, as a last resort or something like that. So all these are not the essential characteristic of seva. If these factors are there, then the seva is not there. Then what is seva? Anukulyena anushilanam seva uttama. I'm playing with the words. You will excuse me for that. Anukulyena anushilanam seva uttama. Anya abhilashata shunyam. No other desire should remain except doing seva. So then, what is seva? Essentially, seva out of love. Prem seva. Prem seva is the essential nature of, because in love, there is no selfish motive. There is no space. In Shuddha Prema, there is no space for selfish motives or vested interest to grind. So where the motive of serving is always for the good of other who is served. So in short, can we conclude that Premmayi Seva is the Nishkam Seva? In this process of understanding, we had to overcome the obstacles of misunderstanding and or lack of understanding. And this is made possible by the Indian knowing systems. The process of knowing. Knowledge systems are well known, but the knowing system is also very interesting. For any proper understanding of the phenomena, one has to understand the other's viewpoint, which is called the Purva Paksha, the opposite viewpoint. What is opposite to the Nishkam? If we understand that, then probably we will have more handle on Nishkam Seva. So discourse methodology on this is given to us by a sage. He says, Kije aisi katha, don't enter into a discourse where the result is fruitless. Nishphal katni joy, siddhi न जामे स्वार्थ की और नहीं परमारथ हो. If that discourse does not fulfill your swa artha, it doesn't give meaning to your being, then don't enter into that discourse. Siddhi न जामे स्वार्थ की और नहीं परमारथ. And if it doesn't connect you to the cosmos, then you should not enter into that discourse. Nahi paramarat hoy varta so sab bachiye. Give up that discourse. It's fruitless. So with that kamana, can we talk for another few minutes about nishkamata? With that kamana, at an early point of our deliberations upon Nishkam Seva, may I dare propose that Nishkamta is not a fact of experience. And Professor Devadi ji opened the floor on that, and I'm echoing him. So this world behaves as per the intents, desires, purposes, goals, rewards, etc. And when these desires or kamanas peak, we realize the futility of these fulfilling these selfish motives or gains. That when we go deeper into the sakam seva, then we realize, and when the desires kamana peak, the kamana itself becomes nashwar, and there dawns the desire of non-desire, the desire of na dhana, I don't want that. Na janam, na sundarim kavitam va jagadish kam. I give up all my sakam desires. I give up. But the kamana does not die. That is the whole power of kamana. What happens? It transforms. I want something and I petition for that. Jagadish, aham kamai. I intensely desire. What do you desire? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti ahetu. With the nishkam bhav, if I can serve you life after life after life after life. So you see how there's a very interesting dynamics or dialectic of Nishkam and Sakam Sevas. So here we then, have we done away with the Kamana? No, we cannot do that. The Kamana of the small, the limited, the Nashwar gives way to a Mahati Kamana. Mama Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavata Bhakti. And what emerges here is the dialectic of Kamana. The Sakam Karma or Sakam Seva leads us into Nishkam, and then Nishkamata brings us a larger Kamana, into a Mahat Kamana. And in the words of Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya, in the foundation stone of Banaras Hindu University, he wrote a shlok. Who are the graduates who will come out of this university, Vidya Mandir? Nattuham kame rajyam na swargam na apunarvama. This should not be the motive of the people who are studying in my institution or going to study. But kame, they should have intense desires. They say have a sakam purpose in focus. What is that? Kamaye dukha taptanam praninam artinashanam. They should all live for one desire, one kamana, that whoever is suffering that we can alleviate. We can help them. So then, what is Niskam Seva? It may be determined by what we desire out of Seva. What is calm then? Artendriya Priti Ichha, Taranam Kam. The most amazing definition ever given about Kama Bhava. Artendriya Priti Ichha, Taranam Kam. But then what is the Premai Seva? What is the Nishkam Seva then? Krishnendriya Priti Ichha, Dhore Premanam. Simple. So is it possible or is it humanly possible that you do not think of yourself? It is possible. There are examples. Atma-shukha gopi na kore vichar. Atma-shukha gopi na kore vichar. Krishna shukha hetu kore shoko beva. Ataiva gopi gone nahi kama gantha. Krishna shukha lagi matra Krishna rasambhava. A fantastic definition of Nishkamata and Sakamata. That how Kamana can be Nishkam. So what one wishes, desires, intends, longs, that matters. Not the process of intending, not the process of desiring. That is not undesired. Undesired is what you are desiring. So as the discipline or the sadhak grows on the path of seva, it becomes a journey from sakam to nishkam, from simit to asimit, swart to parmat, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niram, sarve bhadrani bhadrani, etc. Or from andrik to asmik. And gopis did it. They were very focused on sakam bhakti. Sakam Seva, not Nishkam Seva at all. And that's why Vyasadeva has to write Kamaiva Goparamana. If they could achieve the ultimate, it was only through the path of Sakam Seva. So the place of desires is not so simple. Even in the highest spiritual state of desire, there are obstacles and pitfalls. Even Nishkam state of seva have conceits and pretensions. Motive of getting something in return is the highest conceit. The demand remains, whether it is a lower mundane demand or it is sophisticated, sugar-coated demand of the realized people, so-called realized people. And I share a story and probably I will stop there. Dhruva got the ultimate. Lord said, I cannot give you my unwavering seva because I cannot even grant that to the gods. But he made an exception for Dhruva and he granted him the Nishkam seva. When the Lord went back to his domain and Dhruv was returning to his home, he was completely frustrated and devastated and miserable. Because his tube light then lit. Why did I ask? Why did I even ask bhakti? Why did I even ask the unwavering seva? Asking defiled everything, poisoned everything, destroyed. And that correction was done by Prahlad. The Lord is forcing. Prahlad is a nursing upasaka. And you can understand if nursing says something, does anybody have the courage to say no? Prahlad has. I grant you the boon you ask. He doesn't ask. He forces him to ask. Because nursing is nursing. He forces him to ask. You have to ask. Then he said, all right, if you order me to ask, I will ask. I have no desire to ask. So first grant me that no, you will never pressurize me for asking something. Never. He said, ask for yourself. Then I'm asking for yourself. That in my heart, my consciousness, my chetana, even the seed of asking should not come. Even the seed of kamana should not be down. He has to come. He said, ask for yourself. Then he said, I ask for myself. Because his self is large. The self of the sevaka includes everything. He says, those who are not worthy of your grace, please save them. Social, mainstream social work through Nishkam Seva, through Primary Seva. So therefore, even the most sublime, sacred, spiritual desire turns into a conceited Seva, and that's why we have to say, Moksha Vancha Hoy Kaitava Pradhan. The biggest spiritual cheating and conceit is the desire for liberation. Pra upasargena moksha visandhirapi nirasta dharma projata kai. So there comes the role of a spiritual discipline. Because we need to have, as it was said, we need satyagrahi, we need satyakam jabals, because it's a very difficult path. A seeker or a practitioner of that level, a spiritual path is prescribed or selected as per the essential nature or the makeup of a person. Gita elaborates on that, but beautifully summarized by Baba. He says, Brahma Vichar is the stream of Saraswati. Jnana. Vidhi Nisheda Maya Kalimala Harani Ravi Nandan Varani. The daughter of son Yamuna is the stream of karma, karma sadhana. Or Rama Bhagati Jaha Sursati Dhara. The bhakti to the Lord, the Nishkam bhakti to the Lord is the Ganga. Is the Ganga. If you see the Jnana Marga and the Karma Marga, they are the path of Vyatireka. They are the path of excluding, negating the Maya. But Bhakti changes the whole system. Bhakti is inclusive. So after prayer, all the three rivers are there. But what is the name of the river after prayer? Why not Yamuna? Because if you go to Sangam, you will see more volume of water in Yamuna than in Ganga, in Allahabad. But what is it called? It's called Ganga all the way to Ganga Sagar. The reason is there. The reason is that for this Nishkam Seva understanding, we need to have a system of logic. If there is no logical base of your understanding, then it will not sustain. No amount of spiritual talk will be having any basis. So, in Jnana and Karma, either the objective is predominant or the subjective doer is predominant. But in Bhakti, subject and object, Ashraya and Vishay, are equally important. And their relation is also very important. And in that inclusive sense, everything becomes mainstream. Siya Ram May Sab Jag. There is nothing which is outside the mainstream for a bhakta. Lali mere lal ki jit dekho. Everything is mainstream. There is no alternative for that. So that is inclusive spirituality of bhakti requires an inclusive logic also. The logic of Advaita does not gives us the occasion to serve. The logic of bheda also makes us monadically separate. And when there is no relation between the two, so different, how will you do seva? So the seva is possible only in bheda bhed. How the bhed and abhed are together, that is a supralogical question. Acharya. Acharya. So bhakti is seva and bhakti as a path. The word itself, the metal of bhakti is seva. Bhaj sevayam dhato. Every concept, every word you talked about, and others also talked about the word and the shastra, that is very important. From which metal, which substance that word, that idea, the pratyaya is coming from. And bhakti is coming from seva. Bhaja sevayam dhato. So that is the basic nature of the seeker or the person for whom the Nishkam Seva is important. Because we are concerned for all the jivas, not just for human beings. They are in the focus, but we are concerned for all the jivas. Another 2 minutes? Yeah, so I'll just conclude it. Jive Swarupa hoy Nitya Das. The jiva is relevant, his life is relevant, his processes are relevant, his existence, his being, his consciousness, experience, everything is relevant till he is connected to the higher soul with the path of seva. Jive Swarupa hoy Krishnero Nitya Das. So that Swarup is Seva Bhav, fundamental, and it needs to be uncovered of any conceits or misunderstandings. The path is open for those who have humility, who have forbearance, who have egolessness and willingness to respect others. If these qualities are not there, then bhakti karat kachinari. Again Tulsidas. It warns that don't enter on the path of seva because it's a very difficult path. We have to give up what we have assiduously accumulated through our armies of desires, kamanas in this world. Even atmanomokshartham, seva will liberate you from your own desire for liberation, free from the aham bhav, dasoham tavakesha. Dasoham tavakesha. Freedom from the desire of self. And that is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Seeing these difficulties, that pranadapi sunichena taroriva sahishuna amanina manadena kirtaniya tada, then only you can do seva. And it is very impossible for a human being to do that, to have those qualities. And seeing those difficulties, chirokal ami nahi kori prema bhaktida. From time immemorial, I have never brought the discourse for Nishkam Seva. God is impossible. Bhakti vina jagatere nahi avasthan. I should congratulate you all, whoever is present in this room, and especially the IIT and the Center for having a discourse on the social services dimension of Bhakti, which is not only in the mainstream of human affairs, rather it is the very foundation and oxygen of the human affairs. Bhakti vina jagatir nahi avasthan. I am really grateful for being so generous on me for the time. Pranam. Radha.